This is my bourbon salmon that I've cooked on my gas grill countless times, but I'm smoking it for the first time today. You can make this either way, and it'll come out fantastic with just a little bit of prep work, which is what I'm going to show you next on Twang and Bang. These are all the ingredients you're going to need right here. I've got 1.5 pounds of salmon. I've got ginger and garlic. I've got soy sauce, of course, bourbon, and lime juice. Those are going to combine into a marinade. I'm going to use my vacuum sealer to increase the amount of marinade that gets into that salmon and cut the time that it takes to do so. Then I'm going to put it on the smoker. Since I'm going to be using my food saver to vacuum marinate the salmon, I have a properly sized pouch ready to go. You can do the same thing with any zipper lock bag, though you'll need about 90 more minutes marinade time. Bourbon is what this recipe is about, but you don't need to use anything fancy. I'm using Jim Beam because that's what was used in the original recipe I modified. 4 tablespoons makes bourbon the main flavor instead of the brown sugar I eliminated from this recipe altogether. 3 tablespoons of soy sauce adds saltiness and a bit of fermented zing to the taste. 2 tablespoons of lime juice help the marinade more deeply infuse the salmon without overpowering the bourbon. Add freshly pressed garlic to your taste preference, then peel and grate about 1 tablespoon of fresh ginger. Shake, stir, do whatever you want to mix up the marinade to prepare for the salmon. If you're marinating multiple pieces like I am, put them skin to skin so that the flesh is fully exposed to the marinade. With this food saver, I'll be able to marinate the salmon fully in only about 30 minutes. If you're using a regular baggie, place the salmon in the fridge for about 2 hours. Whichever way you choose, make sure to allow the salmon just enough time out of the fridge to come to room temp right before going on the grill so the flesh cooks evenly throughout. From here, I'm showing you how to smoke this on the Camp Chef Woodwind pellet grill. With a gas grill, you simply cook the salmon on medium heat until the fattest part reaches 125 degrees, which will take about 10 to 15 minutes. Smoking alone will take about an hour, with another 15 to 30 minutes of slow cooking after that. But it's well worth the effort if you have the tool for the job. I'm going to be smoking on the low smoke setting so the delicate salmon doesn't dry out before getting fully smoked. Here's what the salmon looks like after just a half an hour of marinating under vacuum. You got 14.7 psi pushing that marinade into the flesh of the salmon, and it looks fantastic. Looks like it's been in there for hours. I like to put it on a plate instead of bring it out of the bag that has a marinade in it. That way I'm not dripping liquid all into the smoker. That's actually not something we want to be doing. Placement doesn't matter so much on this grill because the fan circulates the heat and smoke all around the fillets like a convection oven. I like to keep the skin on and cook with the skin side down so the salmon cooks in its own fat. Cooking to time is what cavemen did, and cavemen weren't great cooks. It's way better to cook to an internal temperature. It takes all the guessing out of when to take your fish or meat off a grill and allows you to accommodate cuts of different thickness without any drama. Simply stick a remote thermometer into the thickest part of the fish, close the lid, and don't open it again until you've reached the temperature you want. It's an hour later, and that smoke smells awesome. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this up to 225, and let's check that salmon temperature. That's pretty good. We're gonna cook this until it reaches 125 internal temperature. Pull it off, let it rest for 10 minutes, and it should be good to go. Oh, it's too bad there isn't smell-o-vision. This smells awesome. Okay, it just hit 125, now it's up to 127. That is the probe temperature, and that's the first look at it. Oh my goodness, that looks fantastic. I'm gonna wrap it in foil and let it rest. That's why I have that already set up there on the tray. Let me get this in the tripod and do that. I like to use a fish flipper. This is just flaking apart. Oh, wow. Smells fantastic. Gonna wrap this and let it rest for 10 minutes to finish cooking. And I could already tell that is really juicy. Let's get this to shut down. Got a hungry family inside that does not want to be on camera. But there it is, up and close. close. Okay, let me get this on a tripod again. I'm gonna start out with the small piece. Oh, this smells delicious. And it does have a little bit of a crust to it, which doesn't always happen when you leave it wet. Some people like to pat their marinade dry. I do not. Oh my goodness. Wow. That is way better than just a gas grill. Holy cow. It's like the best of both worlds. I've got that marinade that I really like, that will still work really well on a gas grill. But it also has the smoky flavor from smoking for a whole hour. Holy cow, this is fantastic. Well, I've got the full directions in the video description below. Be sure to read that. You can see what I did to make this on my Woodwind grill. You can also see more about that grill itself. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You can see the links right here. And be sure to click over here to subscribe so you can catch my next videos on bows, guns, and making awesome stuff like this. I really appreciate you watching Twang and Bang, and I hope to see you next time.